Tennis star repays kindness. Alexandra Eala rescues local diner that gave her free meals. Before Alexandra Eala became a global tennis sensation, she was just Alex, a spirited young girl in Manila with callous hands, worn-out sneakers, and a dream that seemed too big for a small world. Her family was supportive, but finances were tight. Between training sessions, she often found herself lingering outside a tiny roadside diner called Lola Nina's Erie, the kind of place that smelled like home, where the air was always thick with the scent of garlic rice, sizzling longa, and freshly brewed caping barco. The owner, Lola Nina, was a plump woman in her 60s with silver hair always tied in a bun and an apron that had seen better days. She noticed a shy girl with a tennis bag too big for her shoulders and eyes that carried both exhaustion and determination. One rainy afternoon when Alex was 11, she stood under the diner, small awning, dripping wet after practice, stomach growling. Without a word, Lola Nina stepped outside and handed her a steaming bowl of arroscallo. "Eat first, Hija," she said kindly. "Dreams are heavy. You'll need strength to carry them." From that day on, the diner became Alex's second home. Whenever she ran out of allowance or missed dinner because of training, there was always a plate waiting for her at Lola Nina's. No bill, no questions asked. From street courts to center courts, years passed and Alexandra's talent began to bloom like sunlight breaking through clouds. She trained harder than anyone, fought through losses, and eventually started winning junior titles. Then came her move to Spain for professional training sponsored by the Rafael Nadal Academy. Life became a blur of plains courts, interviews, and victories. But even as she rose through the WTA rankings, she never forgot where she came from. Whenever she returned home to the Philippines, she'd visit Lola Nina's diner, the same chip blue tables, the same faded menu board, the same warmth. Lola would beam with pride as she showed off newspaper clippings and photos of Alex taped on the wall. "That's our girl," she'd tell customers as if she had raised her herself. For Alex, those visits were grounding. Amid the fame and luxury, the diner reminded her that success meant nothing without kindness, trouble brews. In 2025, after a busy season that saw her reach the semifinals in Shanghai and win her first WTA 500 title, Alex returned home for a brief rest. She planned to surprise Lola Nina with flowers and a sign racket, but when she arrived at the familiar corner, her heart sank. The signboard was missing. The windows were dark. The place looked deserted. Inside, she found stacks of unpaid bills and a single table covered in dust. A neighbor recognized her immediately. Alex, you didn't hear? Lola and Nina had to close a diner 2 months ago. Rent went up, and business slowed. She'd been sick, too, hospitalized last week. Alex felt a lump in her throat. All those years, the woman who once fed her for free now had no one to help her. A promise. Remembered. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. Memories of her younger self, sitting at the diner's corner table, spooning warm Acalo under the gentle, humane, kept flashing through her mind. "Eat first, Hija. Dreams are heavy. You need strength to carry them." The words echoed like a calling. By morning, her decision was made. Operation Bring Back Lola's. Alex gathered her team, including her agent, PR manager, and financial advisor. They were used to hearing her talk about sponsorship deals and training schedules. But not this. "I'm buying Lola Nina's diner," she said, simply, "and I'm reopening it." They exchanged glances, half surprised, half admiring. Her agent frowned slightly. Alex, are you sure? It's not exactly a profitable venture. You could just make a donation. No, she interrupted gently but firmly. This isn't charity, it's gratitude. Within a week, her team tracked down the landlord, paid off the debts, and secured ownership under Ella Foundation for Community Hope, a nonprofit Alex had secretly been planning to launch. Next came the renovations. Alex didn't want to turn it into a fancy restaurant. She wanted to stay the same, only cleaner, safer, and brighter. The walls were repainted light blue, just like the sky. She used to stare at while dreaming of Wimbledon. A new mural went up. A young girl with racket and a bowl of Arascallo, symbolizing how food and faith can fuel greatness. The grand reopening. News spread like wildfire across Manila. Tennis star Alexandra Eala opens local diner that once fed her for free. When the doors reopened, the crowd spilled into the streets. Reporters, fans, and curious onlookers filled the small space. But amid the chaos, Alex had only one person she wanted to see. Then came a familiar voice, frail but warm. "Hija, is this all for me?" Alex turned and saw Lola Nina walking slowly with cane, tears glistening in her eyes. Alex ran to her and hugged her tightly. "No, Lola," she whispered. "It's all because of you." As cameras clicked, Alex led her to a seat at the corner table, the same one she used to sit at as a child. The first meal served that day wasn't for a customer. It was for Lola Nina, her favorite. I called it with boiled egg and calamankai, a ripple of kindness. The reopening became more than a feel-good story. It became a movement, inspired by Alex's act of gratitude. Local athletes and celebrities began supporting small community businesses that once helped them in their early struggles. Social media exploded with a hashtag Rec Kindness, trending globally. Within hours, fans from all over the world donated to the Yele Foundation, which used funds to rebuild similar small-town eateries, bakeries, and cafes across the Philippines have been hit hard by inflation. I didn't just save a diner. Legacy of love. Years later, even as Alex continued to climb the ranks, winning more titles, traveling the world, the diner remained her anchor. It became a symbol of her story. From humble beginnings to international stardom, powered not just by talent, but by the quiet kindness of an old woman who believed in her before the world did. Lola passed away peacefully at age 79, surrounded by her family and Alex. Her final words were simple but profound. Always feed others, Hija. The world will never go hungry for love. Alex kept that promise. She transformed the diner into a training and community hub where young athletes could eat, study, and train all for free. On the diner's wall beneath the mural, a new plaque was added in memory of Lola Nina, who taught us that kindness is the first ingredient of success. Epilogue full circle. One quiet evening, long after closing hours, Alex sat alone by the window of the diner, the city lights reflecting off her trophies displayed on a nearby shelf. She had traveled continents, met presidents, and held championship trophies high, but nothing compared to this little diner's warmth. Outside, a summer rain began to fall, just like the day she first met Lola. Nina, Alex closed her eyes and whispered, "Dreams are still heavy, Lola, but now I have enough strength to carry others too." The neon sign flickered softly, Lola Nina's, where dreams are federal. And somewhere in a rain-soaked night, it felt as though a gentle voice replied, "Eat first, Hija. The world still needs your strength." Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next